With no Vegeta, little bads become big bads. But at least Qui survives. What's up everybody, StevDez here, and welcome to another edition of Dragon Ball Days. For a very simple scenario, at its face, this one has turned a lot around. After a vote on your part, back when YouTube let me do that without a community tab, things went well for the Z-Fighters. However, without a Piccolo, Gohan's been reduced to even more obscurity, so if you want to know what happens with Gohan, check out the Minisode Mondays Adventure of Gohan. I got part 2 in the works right now. I can't do nothing with Gohan, he's a very interesting character. So, I'm giving him his own little backstory while everybody's doing stuff on Namek. That way you all know that Gohan is going to come into frame eventually. I feel like Toriyama would still keep Gohan relatively interesting. For now, we look at what's happened thus far. In the last part, Krillin and Raditz went to Namek. They got 5 Dragon Balls, but then Frieza showed up, and they were able to warn 4 villages, but not the 5th. And so Raditz and Krillin kind of went back into the cave with Bulma in order to hide. Now there are 2 things to consider when getting into this part. 1, Goku and Nappa are on their way. They're gonna get some gains. The second, well, they were able to warn 4 villages, meaning these villages are giving Frieza the runaround. They're buying a little bit more time for Raditz and Krillin to actually do something, and a little bit more time for Goku to arrive on the planet. There is one other thing though. Raditz is still a Saiyan. At this point, Raditz wants to prove himself as someone who is viable to keep on the crew. He's kind of feeling bad about the whole blasting Tien in the back thing and Vegeta almost killing everybody. You know, he wants to prove himself. So sitting in a cave is really making that Saiyan angst not so good with him. He's not very happy about sitting. But there is something his cowardice made him overlook until he realizes there's a bunch of Namekians as opposed to scattered power levels going out and blinking out all over the planet. There's a large amount of power levels on the planet being killed in one direction. Raditz yells, "Damn it!" and takes off. Krillin telling Bulma that he'll be right back. Raditz must be doing this for some reason. What was that about? Frieza's killing the village that we haven't been to. If he gets that Dragon Ball, then we can kiss our wishes goodbye. Okay, but what's your plan? It's survival, Krillin. We can't let this monster win in the end. After arriving, Raditz comes up with the plan of the solar flare thing that Krillin's used at least once when it comes down to their mental training. Krillin confirms he can do it, and Raditz says, okay, while the flare's going off, Raditz will jump in and grab the Dragon Ball out from under their noses. Raditz then witnesses that the Scouters have been destroyed by Mori. Oh my god, his plan will work! However, in the blinding light, Raditz passes the 2 children, and, well, he has a change of heart. Wants to get the Dragon Ball. That is the point of this whole thing, to stop Frieza from getting any clue as to his immortality wish. But he sees the kids, and he thinks about the lives he could have saved, and he saves Kago and Dende. As soon as Krillin senses Raditz go past him, Krillin follows behind, only to discover that Raditz is not holding a Dragon Ball. You didn't get the ball? Shut up and fly, Krillin! You know, all the time you spend with Goku, I think you're turning into him. Okay, yeah, forget I said that. Flying. As soon as they get to the cave, they end up doing introductions just outside the cave, and that's when Dodoria catches up with them. The kids run inside to Bulma, and Raditz and Krillin have to square off against Dodoria. Now's a good time to talk power levels. According to what I said in the previous part, Krillin ain't even at 6,000 yet. And let's not even start with Raditz. The biggest Zenkai I could fathom Raditz getting would double his power, which I said was 8,000 when he fought Vegeta, meaning that Zenkai would have given Raditz up to 16,000. Dodoria is at 22,000. Yeah, I think Dodoria's got this. And boy, does Raditz know it.
Well, well, well. If it ain't the prince's whipping boy.
None of that! Vegeta is dead, and soon you will be as well!
Now, Raditz. I'm sure you've been around, finding a few Dragon Balls here and there. Don't think we haven't noticed a few villages being abandoned. I'm sure you and the Baldy there have been busy. I'll tell you what, I'll make a deal with you. That's something you like to do, don't you? Make deals with people and then backstab them. Well, I promise I won't backstab you if you hand over all the Dragon Balls you've collected so far. After all, I could be doing you a service. I could kill you right now. Better me than Frieza.
Did you not hear me, Dodoria? You will die here!
Oh, I heard ya. And with your power level? Don't go promising what you can't deliver.
As their battle begins, we go to Goku and Nappa, which one of them is pissed off at the other. Clearly, Nappa does not like the idea of this low-class Saiyan being a step above him and a step ahead of him every direction. But this does prove useful to Nappa because he has a very good training partner, Goku. And Goku, along with training at higher gravity, has someone who has the bulk for that gravity to not really affect him as much as you'd think. Keep in mind, Nappa and Vegeta, as well as Raditz, have traveled planets. I'm sure they found a planet with larger gravity than what they're going at. This training session ends like every other. Goku's just too quick and far ahead of Nappa at this point. However, they are able to skip some gravity. Remember, Nappa should be pretty used to planet Vegeta's gravity, which was 10 times, and therefore, they'd be starting at 20 times. What's more, this gravity chamber is slightly different. Given that Dr. Briefs knows about the gravity chamber that Bulma built, I would think he would pump up the maximum gravity of this chamber to not be 100, but 200. Would this take the Doctor a bit longer? After all, that's a lot of numbers to be crunching. I don't think so. Since it's a Capsule Corp creation and he has a prototype, the gravity chamber Bulma built, to work with, he could use a lot of those formulas in this machine. This machine will go further than 100 times in these training sessions. Meaning Goku and Nappa, they're gonna be pretty well off by the time they get to Namek. Getting back to this training session, things don't go well for Nappa and he's beating himself up. That's when Goku decides to share with him what he's done on Earth and how he's gotten so strong, how he's gathered fighters that enjoy fighting with him and just look to be better and better and better, improving himself, because there's always a challenge on the horizon. All the way to the point that when his friends got back, they were so much more powerful that all he had to do was take out Piccolo, and that'll be it. He's able to actually make a difference. He talks Nappa all the way up to the conclusion of the tournament. And by that point, everyone was just so much stronger than me. So I had to get stronger. And the only way I got stronger was by helping them train. It was fun. In fact, something tells me Vegeta never trained with you and Raditz, huh?
Training's for weaklings, Kakarot!
Well, according to Raditz, I was a weakling. And now I'm stronger than you. So we should train together some more.
I don't need your pity, Kakarot! Let's go!
Sure enough, they do a bit, getting up to 75 times Earth's gravity, just before the whole asteroid shower ends up happening. This time, however, it's Nappa going out into space in a larger spacesuit because he's gotten to know Goku and he's softened a little bit. Instead of a Kamehameha, Nappa would use a mouth blast. You know, the Cho Makoho. Makoko. Or mouth energy blast. When he gets back in, he gets a thumbs up from Kakarot and tells him, hey, you saved my life. You definitely earned one of those wishes.
No, I didn't. I still have to beat you. And that's what I'm gonna keep doing.
Keep training until I can finally put you in your place. I am the mid-class warrior here, Kakarot. You're just a low-class whelp.
Whatever gets you ready to fight, I'm ready.
Meanwhile on Namek, Raditz and Krillin are just about out of steam. Dodoria has beaten the hell out of them, and
Krillin didn't want to risk Kaioken unless he had a clear shot.
Raditz tells him to go ahead and start charging up that Kaioken Kamehameha whatever.
In a move similar to Raditz in the canon, where Piccolo charged an attack and Goku held Raditz, Raditz does this with Dodoria, and Krillin is the one firing at the duo. However, Raditz doesn't last too long by himself. He's grounded relatively easily by the pink alien. However, he takes this as Raditz is dead, so he lets his guard down for a split moment while Raditz gets up and quickly full Nelsons the fat bugger.
Let me go! Let me go now!
Do it, Krillin! Do it!
You're insane! He'll kill us both!
It's worth it! Blast him, Krillin!
Kaioken times 5! Kamehameha! Krillin lets it fly, and Dodoria's body is completely vaporized, leaving Raditz in a crater, Yamcha posing. Krillin approaches the Down Saiyan, believing that he's killed Raditz all for the sake of Namek. He fears what Goku might think about this, but, he did it in such a good way. It's a darn shame that they don't have Dragon Ball. And then Raditz coughs up some blood. Yeah, he survived. Go figure. Dodoria was fat enough to block enough of it, and Raditz is just really, really, really weak from the fight. The Namekians pipe up, seeing such a heroic action from Raditz, and they say that their elder, Guru, would be able to house them, at least keep them safe for now. Krillin decides to follow the kids, and that's where we're going to leave things for right now, with the kids leading Krillin to Guru's and Bulma watching the Dragon Balls and moving them. Naturally, Bulma would give the Dragon Radar to Krillin, so at least Krillin would know where she found to be safe at. So what do you all think? Do you think Raditz is going to be okay? What about Goku and Nappa's gains? How far do you think they're going to push each other? There is still one big bad in our future, so how do you think Zarbon's gonna handle? Go ahead and leave a comment below. For more what ifs in the realms of video gaming and Dragon Ball alike, such as if Broly went to Namek, Super Broly, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. If you would like to support the channel, Patreon link is in the description, and Discord link is also in the description if you want to chat with fans or perhaps me. I do hang out there from time to time, and the fans that I've gotten to know are really good fans. Thank you all for your support. Like the video if you enjoyed it, and as always, I'll see you in the next one. Ciao.